Today on Caliber 50 Customs, we're doing a GO Rescue Matchbox into a little bit of a Jungle Madness vehicle. So why don't we head on down to the range and let's get started. Hello everybody, welcome back to the range. Tom here, and today we're doing a little something different. So, why don't we go ahead and field strip this baby and see what we're working with. And, today I decided I wanted to try to make a suspension lift. So this was the vehicle I was originally going to use for one of my giveaway builds, but I ended up changing it when I got another casting. So I was like, you know what, I gotta find something to do with this vehicle. And it was just sitting around, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go a jungle theme. I wanted to try out building the suspension lift out of styrene and, springs as you see up there at the top left. For an upcoming build for the 4 Horsemen of the 2022. The Mars rover vehicle, and I wanted to kind of test it and see what all I could do and how I could do a suspension, because I wanted to get it to work in certain ways, and in a way it kind of did work, but in a way it kind of didn't, and I just wanted to see if I could do it. For one, it was the first time me actually building a suspension style lift, with moving parts. And normally I'll just take off of another, casting or something. But this one I was like, you know what? I just want to do it myself. I'm building the suspension portion of it first with the wheels. So that's why the wheels are kind of, running through. And I'm just testing it out, seeing if it's going to work. And, there are some things I could have did differently, but I wasn't thinking about it at the time until after I got it completed. So I just went with the way I could. It honestly didn't turn out too bad. It could have been better. I didn't think about the paint buildup, for it to be moving up and down. So there's one thing I can check out, or just think about differently when I get ready to do another suspension lift. And I like to try to make moving parts on things because, it makes it look cooler, if you ask me. I don't like it just standing still and, being boring, I should say. And what I'm doing is I'm building like a little center, like drive shafts, I guess what they are, that attach to both sets of axles. And I'm trying to make it to where it'll move, and it moves perfectly. It really does. Everything just did not, it worked according to plan, but it didn't at the same time, if that makes any sense. But other than that, it turned out great. The paint job turned out good, so I wasn't really disappointed with the paint job. I was more disappointed with the suspension portion of it, because, I just kind of did it on the fly. I didn't do any research, didn't watch any videos. And I did what I could. And it didn't turn out too bad, I think. And, the tires you see me using, I don't end up going with those tires. I end up taking a set off of another truck I had just sitting around. And, I wanted to make sure that everything moved, perfectly. And, it did. I had to cut the springs in half to make it to where I had 4 springs that weren't like outrageously big, and I kind of wish I would have cut them down a little bit further, but it turned out looking alright. Just really jacked up. Not in a bad way, I mean like jacked up as in high up, But this was a fun casting. It really was, and I've been wanting to do something with this for a while now, and I'm kind of glad I just decided to do a video on it. I don't know what I'm going to be doing in my next video. Since I've been working with airbrushing, and I've been trying to do better. I think my next video is I'm going to try to work with stencils. Use my airbrush for some stencils, and I've been kind of going over some ideas in my head, just seeing what I can do. And I want to improve my skills more. That's why I'm trying to do more custom making parts, builds. If that makes any sense, because it does me. And, we got all these theme builds coming up, and, I've already gotten ideas for quite a few of them. I still got my 4 horseman build for this month. It's in the works, and it's working. I got it, haven't really had a chance to do any videoing for it yet, because I've been working on this one. But, it'll be there. It'll probably be my next video I post up. It'll be the end of next week. Because after this video, I think I'm going to work on that one. Maybe another one in between. I don't know yet. Because you guys know I rack out videos pretty quick. And this portion of it, like, I had to shorten a lot of the suspension down a little bit. Because it looked like it was just riding up way too high in some areas. And I was like, I gotta figure out a way to make it to where the springs will compress and open up and not have to worry about them popping out of place. But yeah, that didn't work out as well as I was hoping. I ended up cutting them either too short, or, I didn't cut them long enough or something. But, I'm putting these styrene pieces there to put the post through, the tubing through, and it just was not evenly spaced, so everything was kind of crimped together. So I'm working on it, and it was coming together, and I couldn't figure out exactly what all I was gonna do after I got done with this, but I just wanted to get the base done first, because I knew that was going to take the longest part of the video. So, here I am filing down the sides so it'll set evenly and it's not all crooked and leaning or anything like that. And everything went together pretty decent. I was taking files, kind of taking a round file and just kind of grooving it so it'll fit with the other styrene tube. And it would just kind of sit in there and it would work really good, and it did for a time being until I went to put paint on it. Yeah, everything was working until I went to put paint on it. But that's okay. That's just something I can use for further reference. Further ideas. Or just instead of using styrene, I can just use some brass tubing or something, give it a better look or something. I don't know yet. We'll figure that out in the later videos. And I'm one of these guys that I try to do different videos each time. I don't try to just do, souped up muscle car or, a hot rod or just everyday wheel swapping paint jobs. I can't do that. I got to do something different. And, I'm coming up on, I'm getting up there towards 40 videos now, and, I'm kind of wanting to make sure I don't run out of ideas. So I've been watching other YouTube channels, just trying to get some ideas. I got all kinds of castings, and it's just trying to figure out what all I want to do. And I got a couple castings I'm thinking about doing custom-wise, and just seeing what all I can come up with.
If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for further notifications.
And what I'm doing here is I'm adding exhaust from a big time muscle truck that I got, just to kind of make it stand out a little bit. I got a front end from a bone shaker I had just sitting around. I was going to use it for a motorcycle build, but I decided, what, I'm going Jungle Madness theme on this thing, so let's just put it on here. And I'm kind of glad I did. I had some mirrors sitting around somewhere I put on here, And the paint job I went with it looked actually really good after I was done with it. This headache rack I got from the Humvee casting, and I was thinking about putting brush guards on it, but it would not fit the theme I was going with. It just wouldn't look good. So I said, nah. Here I am kind of trimming the spot for me putting the mirrors on. And I can't remember where I got these mirrors. And so I decided just to, put them on here because they were just sitting around not doing nothing. So I put them on here, and they actually look pretty cool on this casting. And, now that I'm getting into airbrushing, things are going to go a little bit different. I'm starting off here with a white sealer because I know it'll make the colors I'm going to use stand out a little bit better. I'm sealing everything. And I've been having little problems with my mixture, so I know why, it takes me so long to put a coat of paint on. It's because I'm not putting enough reducer in, or, that's what I found out what was my big problems. I just was not putting enough reducer in. And, I did my best to try to, match up to what I had to do. And this is a custom green that I came up with. I don't really have a name for it yet, but I thought it looked pretty neat. It was a good little jungle color, so, what I did was, I went 3 different colors of green. All 3 of them I custom made. And, I kind of wanted to go a tiger stripe pattern on it. So after I got done this, you see me masking it up, and I'm just cutting little squiggly lines out of the tape, just to throw over and mask off, make it look like tiger stripe. And that's one thing I like to do is, do videos on this kind of stuff. And I think what I might end up doing is when I get some more camouflage color style paint for my airbrush, I'm probably going to do a better camouflage tutorial for one of my videos. I just got to find the right casting to use for the video. Because I want it to be big enough to where you can actually see the detail that I'm putting into it. And, it's big enough to where, you can actually tell and see what I'm doing. And, honestly, this is like the first time I went over this, and I had to put it down and restrip it because some of the paint didn't go. I don't know what the reason was. I can't remember. It was a couple days ago. But once I got it taped off, and I kind of went the exact same pattern that I went with the first time that I painted it. And I remember now the when I went to peel the tape off, it kind of brought some of the paint off with it. And that's why I had to redo it. I'm redoing the back portion of it, because I wanted it to be where it looked like it was all one piece and not 2 separate pieces. But I'm only going to show this portion of it. But you guys remember what it looked like before. Pretty decent casting. The Geo Rescue, and with a little bit of Caliber 50 Customs twist on it, we turned it into the Jungle Madness. So, without further ado, why don't we check it out? See ya next time at the range.